Our next question asks, why is it tempting to stay broken? Now, I do want to clarify before we get going. The person that asked this question actually texted me personally, wanted me to know that who it was that was sending the question. So I do know that as we get into this, and I feel like this is a huge caveat that we really need to put out there before we get rolling, is that they are not talking about clinical depression. If you're hearing this and clinical depression is something that would be more in line with your case and with your life, then I would say seek a true professional with degrees on the wall for the tools that they offer. This is not for that. This is for those that do not have clinical depression, but it does appear are making the choices to stay in a spirit of brokenness and following maybe a heartbreak because we're disappointed maybe something didn't go through, because something came to an end, like a relationship or a job, things like that, right? Following a tragic event, but it's past the time that we should be broken over it at all times. So there are really three things that I think are what serve as the major temptations for people to stay broken. I did talk to our teaching pastor here, Sam Nobles, about this one. Felt like he was somebody whose experience I wanted to lean into this, and we kind of crafted these together. But the real easy one, the real softball reason for why is it tempting to stay broken, sometimes people just like the attention. And I don't mean that as an insult, but it is a rational conclusion for someone to reach. That when things are chill, not as many people reach out to me, not as many people initiate with me about my day or how I'm doing. However, when things are off, when something is wrong, then I don't have a hard time getting people to initiate with me. People are reaching out, checking out on me at all times. So sometimes if somebody's lonely, if somebody's really insecure and they're battling that, and they realize that if they can stay broken, right, like there's a reason that people do things. So if I stay broken, then I don't have to initiate with others. I don't have to endure feeling lonely because I have other people checking in on me at all times. So I'd say that's probably one of the reasons that people do this. The second thing that I would point to is why it is tempting for people to stay broken is that one of the hardest things in life is not knowing what it is that I am feeling or how it is that I am. Like not being able to put words onto what is going on internally within me. It's a very frustrating thing. There was this phrase a few decades ago that became popular, honestly, in the 90s with the rise of grunge music. It may have been around before that, but I'm not aware of it. And it was simply called teen angst. And it was this frustration of having a variety of emotions and dispositions all occurring simultaneously and not being able to place your finger on it. So what does that have to do with staying broken? As unhealthy as it is, I would argue that there's a sense of comfort when I'm broken because I'm able to articulate what I'm feeling. I'm not having to invest energy in being able to come up with that answer because I know and I'm able to recognize it. What ends up happening is that the comfort of knowing how I feel and how to function within that feeling ends up being preferred over the unknown. But also, I know how to operate when I'm broken. If I've walked with a limp for 10 years, there's a level of comfort in knowing how to get from point A to point B while walking. It's with my limp. But if the root cause of that limp is fixed after a decade, it's going to be really difficult for me to learn how to walk in a new manner that does not have a limp. So what ends up happening? Well, many people are tempted and give in to the temptation of, I've always walked with this limp, I'm just going to keep walking with the limp rather than learn a new way to walk. So it is with emotional states. I've been broken for a week, a month, 3 months, whatever it is, and I've learned to navigate my day-to-day feeling that way. It would be too difficult to learn a new method. Okay, so some people just stay there because there's a comfort of going through what is known, even though it's difficult and more difficult than it should be, than learning something in the unknown. So some people it's just a matter of, because I'm able to identify what this is, because I know how to navigate life like this, I don't want to leave the comfort that's there.